What is up, everybody? We are back with some Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and we're here to answer that question today. Should you pull on the Yuffie Final Fantasy VII Rebirth crossover banner? Again, these videos are more designed for those who are trying to maximize their crystal spending, to decide when to save versus when to not. If you're somebody who doesn't care about that overall meta of the game and you're just in here to pull for your favorite characters, this is not the video for you. I would say if Yuffie's your favorite character, and you got enough to pull to get to the costume, then do it. But this is to look more specifically at the usefulness of this banner, and also to kind of think about maybe what might be forthcoming. So, if you are new to the channel and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, follow along with what we do here, hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts on the banner. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And let's get going. So the first things first, we're going to look at the overall look of the outfit. This obviously comes from the Loveless play in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Costume itself on its own doesn't look bad. A little Moogle on the back, little hairpiece, all that stuff. So yeah, overall that part does not look bad. The weapon on its own does not look bad. I like the overall look of the weapon. But the two together, I don't feel like they fit. And honestly, I felt the same way about Aerith's outfit and gear. On their own, they look great. They don't look like they go together. This does at least look like a Yuffie weapon. Well, kind of. I could also see it kind of as a Glenn weapon, but I can at least see this as a Yuffie weapon. I could not see Aerith's as an Aerith weapon. To me, it looked more like a weapon for Cid. So overall looks, it's alright. Like I said, each piece on its own looked great, but together, I don't agree there. So let's look at the stats of things. Let's start with with her gear. So we have boost water potency of plus 15. So right off the bat, you're getting plus 25% to your water potency. Paired with Water Blade Arcanum. It's 35% water ability damage. These two together are great. This is an amazing outfit when you look at the R abilities. Especially if you have water weapons for Yuffie. Speaking of which, if we come in here and we look at the available weapons that can be wishlisted for Yuffie, and we say which ones are water, she's got her new one, and that's it. That's it. Even if we were to come into her gear itself, let's filter just for Yuffie. And this has event weapons and all that kind of stuff. She's got 2 event weapons. Well, one's a summon weapon. You have the Leviathan Cutter from the Leviathan battle, and this is the Chariot Wheel. Again, here's some issues here. These are dealing magic water damage. This one just boosts lightning resistance and magic defense. It doesn't do anything that you'd want to have with her for her kit, honestly. This one boosts magic attack and water potency. The water potency part's fine. The magic attack's a problem because when we look at the stats for the weapon, the Bird of Prey, it is a physical weapon. So that's going to cause some issues there if you're wanting something in the main hand like that. Now she does have other things that could be paired. Let's go back into that for a second. So if we filter it there, and then we want to go a step further and say, okay, what else boosts physical attack? And, we've got the Spyro Shuriken boosting P attack, but it also boosts ice potency. Let's just go this way. This boosts P attack and buff debuff. I cannot remember if exploit weakness counts in this, But again, the issue is you're throwing out a weapon that you're just going to be putting this in the offhand for the purpose of this and not using its ability. Boomerang does fire potency. The Hawkeye does earth potency. The Arctic Star, here's another example of that buff debuff extension. This one would at least be a little more useful because you can increase the P attack of a single ally high to high. So you can even buff yourself or another ally, get that P attack up. And this is going to really help boosting the P attack and buff debuff extension. And then the other one's the Striped Moogle Float, which also boosts water or fire potency. So not much there. You could then even go the route of, okay, what if we did the boost physical ability potency and tack onto that? She's got nothing. She does not have an item that does that. So she doesn't really have a whole lot she could really pair in her offhand with this weapon. Now that doesn't mean it shouldn't be considered at all. It just means that's something to highly consider if you're trying to build her. You're going to have a hard time maybe finding something to put in that second-hand slot. So let's look further at the weapon itself and what it does. So Raging Torrent in its base 5-star form deals 520% physical water damage to a single enemy and applies Exploit Weakness to yourself. Potency of 20% for 30 seconds. Now, that's good, but when we compare it to the first weapon that did this, which was a limited weapon, this is also a limited weapon, I think. Let's see, these should be... Yeah, these will probably be limited. But when you compare it to Tifa's weapon, so that one started at 20%. Tifa's starts at... should be 25%. So let's go back to that one. Yeah, so it starts at 25%. And again, this is the OB1, so OB1's 50 seconds. This one eventually goes up to 40 and 70. This one, if we take it up to that OB1, you're at 20%, 35 seconds, so less potency percentage, less duration, because I think it was 40 seconds. And then when you finally max at 45 seconds and only 30%. So this is a weaker version of the Tifa weapon that we got. The one bonus is that you're going to be continuously casting this over and over and over if you're going to be using her in that physical damage build. So let's say you do get it up to OB1, the attack of 403, 620% physical water damage, again 20% potency, 35 seconds, your P attack's at 32 points, you're probably going to be main-handing this thing, so your level 4 physical attack plus 20% just with this weapon. Physical ability potency is at 20, so 30% on your physical magic, or your physical ability at max attack gauge. P attack, circle, sigil. That part's really good, by the way. You get it up to OB6. You've gone up to 633 P attack. You're doing 780% physical water damage. Exploit weakness is out at 30% for 35 seconds. Again, this still isn't bad, but it's like, it's the Daffodil Gloves, it's Tifa's Daffodil Gloves light. It's the diet Daffodil Gloves. Boost P attack of 40 points, so you're at 30%. Just a little bit extra will push you up to that 40% point. Your physical ability potency is now at plus 36 points, so you're now at 60% to your physical ability damage when that gauge is maxed. That's nothing to scoff at. And then if you do happen to take this up to OB10, you're now at 691 physical attack, 940% physical water damage, which again, we've had some going up to over 1,000, but this exploit weakness is really going to come in handy with this. 30%, 45 seconds, P attack's at 46, so you're sitting here at 40%. You just need, so you'll need another 20 points, 19 technically, to push you over to that 50% break point. Boost physical ability potencies at 52. You need something that's going to give you 6 points here to push you to that 80%. Honestly, I would leave it at the 70% and not worry about a weapon just boosting that. I would rather find something that's boosting my water potency, boosting my P attack, and then start going into like boosting just ability potency or other things that are going to help in that regards, HP or PDEF, MDEF, things like that. Again, if we were to take the 1.5 anniversary out of the picture, let's assume that 1.5 wasn't going to be a thing. They weren't going to do anything huge. They weren't going to do anything huge until we hit the main anniversaries every time. So, you know, first year, second year. It's not a bad banner. Again, it's not the best, but it's not a bad banner. I don't like the overall looks of the two items together, but overall it's a pretty good banner. Again, if you're that person who loves to main Yuffie, it's a solid banner for it. It really is. And in that regard, it could be worth a pull. If you're going to pull, this is one you definitely pull for the outfit too, because that's going to extremely benefit the use of the weapon too. They do really go hand in hand. However, when we do consider the fact we have the 1.5 anniversary coming up in about a month, this is not, in my opinion, worth sinking about 30k crystals into. I would rather save and see what we're going to get in that 1.5 anniversary. The fact that they're kind of hitting this exploit weakness thing really hard right now, I think we're going to maybe even get a better weapon for that on the 1.5 anniversary. I think we're going to see something like that, and maybe something like with Sid's new Enfeeble effect. I think we're going to see both of those appear in the 1.5 anniversary again on much stronger weapons, and with gear that are hopefully really going to complement it. So my suggestion is to hold off on this banner. Like I said, unless you're just that huge Yuffie person and you want to have everything Yuffie, I would say this is a skip. It's a hard skip, but it's a skip. I said, taking that 1.5 anniversary out of the picture, I would say it's definitely, if you want it, go for it. If you don't have a strong water kit, go for it. But I cannot confidently say pull on this thing with that 1.5 anniversary coming up. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. Like I said, I feel like it is a solid banner. It's just not the right time to pull on this banner. The other thing I'd like to point out, we also got this reawakened Bahamut banner that appeared in September. Looks really great. Don't touch it. Do not spend on this. The stamp card is not that great. I think we had a better stamp card for it when it first released in September. But you get 3 guaranteed Bahamut weapons. That's it. Because then you hit the X card. Not worth it. Again, 1.5 anniversary coming up. They are trying to bleed crystals. Do not touch this thing. This one, I don't recommend it. But, like I said, it's still, in my opinion, a good banner. So, like I said, we'll call that one here. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in the next one.